What's up? This is your boy Montre, your metaphysical advisor. Metaphysics, basically, spiritual stuff, things of the unknown. All right, so I just want to have a little chat with you guys because there's some things that have been bothering me, and I think it needs to be talked about because people just kind of hide stuff or pretend things don't exist or whatever. And the thing I'm talking about is children. I think this world has a very strong child abuse problem. And many of the issues in society that we have, not only in America, but around the world, all deal with some form of child abuse. With, um, I've seen so many dark videos that I can't even post on YouTube uh, that relate around child abuse. Whether it's late term abortions or children who get caught up in the system through adoption or parents selling their children to the industry, whether it's the movie industry, and allowing them to be molested for the buck, for the money, or your children just getting caught up in um, in the sex trafficking without realizing what they're doing. Sex has become more and more prevalent, uh, attacking our children, trying to bait them into a world that they don't quite understand. And I'm very, very sensitive about this topic because, when I see people try to take things so lightly about children, I think we need to protect children. I don't think children need to be exposed to so much sex, especially in this day and time where sexual content online is so easy to get a hold of. And now we're moving into virtual reality platforms where like I have an Oculus Meta, whatever you want to call it, headset, and there's children just running around all over the place in virtual reality worlds. Where are the parents? They're just, it's like sending your kid off to a bar and letting them just talk to any adult that they want to. And not all the adults are cool. Most of the time we block the kids and whatever, but it just takes one crazy adult with a problem to mess your kid up. And I'm seeing it more and more so where, like I said, I don't agree with teaching children about sexuality in elementary school before fourth grade, before they're even the age of puberty. um, I think it's very harmful, and I think people should leave children alone. No matter what your beliefs or your sexual orientation or your politics are, you should understand that children are just children, and they should stay that way. um, but like I said, this most of the things come down to child abuse. And there's a very large occultic circle of people who hate children or they want to use children's energy because spirit on a spiritual level, children have a very strong spiritual energy. They have a very strong imagination. They believe pretty much anything, and they believe anything is possible. But you can really harm children, and a lot of people, whether they're doing that for their own dark occultic reasons, whether they're trying to just kill children for their energy, their soul energy, or whether they're just trying to sexually abuse them to put them through some kind of traumatic experience. So once again, they're still these are energy vampires. They do it to adults, but most adults have so many defenses up you can't get through them. But you can with children, and that's the dangerous part. So not only is there a pedo problem in this world, in America as well, it's it's prevalent throughout our politics, politicians, government officials, police officials, judges, teachers. It's everywhere. These people are everywhere. And it's really hard to like pinpoint who these people are because nobody's getting prosecuted. And if they do get prosecuted, they only go to jail for a little bit of time. Why is it that we convicted the Epstein, or not even Epstein? Epstein's dead, but we convict Ghislaine Maxwell, but we don't have a list of people that was on Epstein Island. We don't have a list of people who were buying and selling young girls. And that's not even half the problem because it's also young boys too that get caught up in the system and they get damaged. So for the children to actually make it through, yeah, not all of them make it through. Some of these kids are killed. And that's what I was talking about. The whole abortion issue and stuff like that. Late term abortions, a lot of states, whether no matter what side you believe on, a lot of late term abortions. I've seen some videos. I can't show them here, but I've seen some videos of them actually selling bodies, full bodies of babies. So I don't care about this this video because I get so many strikes and stuff. So whatever. But I've seen the videos, full bodies, and these weren't dolls. These were aborted baby bodies, and they're selling them. They were doing something with them. They were washing them, and these were dead bodies. So you don't wash bodies you're about to destroy. And even though they claim they were destroyed, Planned Parenthood was under investigation, uh, but nobody found any evidence. Of course they didn't. This is a big old system going on here, and they're covering their tracks. But they found the videos. I think the guy who took the videos was being prosecuted. So they get you either way. You can show the evidence, but they're going to deny it. Why? The only way they can deny it is because they got so many powerful people behind them. And then on the opposite end, okay, so you ban abortions, the birth rate goes up. People don't want these unwanted babies. They go into the system. They go into the adoption system, the foster care, the state owns them. You know how much craziness happens with those kids in the state, those kids that nobody adopts. Child protective services don't protect anything. Having worked in that industry for a little bit, in the industry, in that service area of kids by the state, those kids are really messed up. They put them under so many medications that they probably do or may not need. Most of the psychotic stuff. It keeps them very numb. They go to foster home with whoever. And yeah, some, I'm not going to say that all foster homes are bad, but there are some that are. And I don't think these people are vetted out enough. And some of these kids are abused. And I've heard so many crazy stories um, with some of the kids I was taking care of in the group homes scenario. Some kids would tell me that they actually came from ritual sexual abuse. I've heard it from their mouth that they came from a system of ritual sexual abuse. And this girl, she was about to age out, but there was still something weird about the system because she was about to age out, but they kept her around. And I was like, she was a beautiful girl. I don't know what happened to her, but I was like, she's 18. Why is she still here? So somehow they kept her here, and it made me feel uncomfortable because I felt like it was a planned process, like they were trying to keep her there. And it be that she came from ritual sexual abuse, which is very, very dark, and to be that, and she really had a very nonchalant attitude about everything, and I think that's one of the side effects. Um, what happens with a lot of kids who do make it out, or they don't make it out, they survive the abuse. There's some emotional things that aren't quite right with them when they become adults, and they don't have normal relationships like normal adults. How they view sex is very differently, and and I'm not saying that about anybody if you've been sexually abused, that's 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 something you're gonna have to deal with, And I'm not talking against anybody who's been sexually abused. It's a very horrible thing, but there's a lot of kids out there who've not only been sexually abused, but they've been ritual sexual abuse, which is like some kind of dark occultic thing. And they've seen it. And they may have a schizophrenia, split personalities because of that's how they cope with the abuse. And some of them, sad to say, become abusers themselves. We had a young man who was molested by both his parents. I don't know what was going on with that issue. And he had a molestation problem. Like we could not leave him alone. He was only 14. And we could not leave him alone with other children, like younger children, because he had a pedophilia problem, which came from his sexual abuse. So what you're seeing here, I know what you're seeing like today in today's terms, a lot of messed up adults who have no problem with abusing kids because they've been through the abuse themselves. Um, and this is why you have to watch out what this world is. We have to see this world for what it is and why these people are not getting convicted, because a lot of these people have been through ritual sexual abuse and it's a norm for them, but it's a very quiet kept secret, and they allow it to happen because there's so many people that have been involved, and the ones that didn't survive are dead. They're just dead, and that's another hidden secret. Kids that don't survive, kids go missing every day. We got millions of kids in America alone that are missing, and if they can't do it here, they're going to take it overseas. There's a lot of folks, a lot of rich people who go overseas on these little trips, and they're getting kids to have sex with. You're getting kids to have sex with it. They're not going for the adults. They're going overseas, going to these countries, and they're grabbing kids. And then they're pretending like they don't do that. And until we start, one, spiritually being aware of these things, and I'm telling you this, what you can do, being aware of it, being spiritually aware of what these evil people are doing, but also put some prayers up for children who cannot help themselves. Asking the angels to help them, asking for this dark cabal to be exposed, for these people to be exposed, for this whole system of child sex trafficking to fall. I don't care what spirituality you practice. If you start praying for that, if we all start praying for that, we'll see the universe move on our behalf for these kids, because these kids don't know any better. They don't know. And some of them think it's normal, and it's not. And then they become adults. And guess what? They start teaching this behavior to your children. So there's that, and we're starting to see that. That's almost like, why is sexuality, OnlyFans, kids getting on TikTok and stuff, doing very sexual things, parents exploiting their children online, and not realizing, mm, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. I want to show you some stuff. Okay, guys. What's up? I want you guys to watch this video. Hopefully, the audio comes in good. Um, but this is what I'm talking about right here. Let me start it over. If your children are on social media and you haven't heard the story about what's going on with Ren, you need to listen up. Ren is 3, and she's absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. Her mom posts lots and lots of videos, and they have 17.3. Oh, looks like I froze. Press play. They have 17.3 million followers of her just posting pictures of her kid. Really weird, especially if she's just posting pictures of her child. Keep going. 3 million followers on TikTok, which I have a hard time wrapping my head around. It's his videos of the toddler. What moms are noticing is how many times these videos of Ren are being saved. I'm not sure if you can actually see this with my iPhone show up here, but this has been saved 10,000 times. Video's been saved 10,000 times. Has been saved 45,000 times. People are saving videos of her child. Why is she even putting video of her kid in a I mean, you can dress your kid any way you want to. It's your child. But she's seeing all of these likes and people saving her video of her kid, and her kid is in a crop top. Innocent enough. Innocent enough, kid eating a hot dog. But why are people saving it? 374,000 people saved a picture of a kid eating a hot dog. You can't tell me these people aren't pedophiles. You can't tell me that. No grown adult should be saving anybody else's child unless if you don't know them. Why? Only pictures I have that I save are family. I don't say random strangers' kids. Only my family members. Which is I just find that really weird, and there's really something wrong here. If you're not watching your kids online, somebody else is.